F1 Manager 24 for the third quarter of season number 3. We're going for 21st or above with both drivers for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
We're on the shores of the Red Sea in the shade of Jeddah's skyscrapers. This might be a dream setting, but as we know, in Formula One, not all dreams come true. So stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. The weekend starts here.
Alright, coming into qualifying and hoping for more promising results, but I doubt any promising results going to come our way anytime soon. But we get P20 and P21, which isn't bad. That would put both drivers above target for what we need come race day. Iwasa gets pole and Perez gets P12. What can we do on Sunday race day?
The drivers are getting ready here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, preparing for 50 flat-out laps under the lights.
Jeddah street circuit certainly makes the high speeds of F1 racing a thrilling affair. But even a world champion can be caught out in between the narrow walls, just as Max Verstappen found out in 2021.
The Jeddah street circuit has one of the fastest average speeds, as well as the most corners of any track on the calendar. Good high-speed downforce is going to make life in the fast lane a little easier for drivers here this weekend. Well, there's nothing quite like it. Welcome along to race day. It's been a long race, but there's Kevin Magnussen coming back.
At the end of that, it's a 15th place finish.
Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
Okay then, and a big thank you to everyone for joining us this weekend here in Jeddah.
Formula One will be back to Europe for the next round, on the shores of the Mediterranean, with some heated competition to look forward to in Spain.
So that's the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix with Max Verstappen the winner, Piastri P2 and Iwasa P3. We get P14 and P22 and a DNF for Liam Lawson, but really promising result from Lance Stroll. And as we get Oscar Piastri next season, hopefully him and Lance Stroll can keep pushing, and maybe we can even start to get consistent double points, because Stroll isn't bad like he is in real life. He's actually decent in the game, but we only got 19 grand for that race, and we're going to pick 21st or above with both cars for the Spanish Grand Prix.
Thank you for joining us for the Spanish Grand Prix here in Barcelona. Halfway through the season, it's too early to call the championship. Can teams make good before the summer break, or will they be hoping for a reset? In the last round, Max Verstappen flew to victory, the Dutchman proving that he can be absolutely unstoppable when he's in such fine form. Now let's crack on with the weekend.
Right into the Spanish Grand Prix qualifying. We are P19 and P20, so we beat two other drivers. Is it both Alpines? Max gets pole, Iwasa gets P4. You know, I'm missing that Haas car dearly, especially because it's so much better than ours. But let's go into race day.
Barcelona, 66 laps around a track that the drivers know inside and out.
Barcelona is a circuit with plenty of history under its belt. It was here, after all, that multiple world champion Max Verstappen secured his very first F1 victory back in 2016.
Barcelona is a tricky circuit to balance. The technical corners demand high downforce, but that means adding stress to tyres and potentially limiting race strategies if teams go too far. The excitement is building, there's electricity in the air, but there's no surprise in that. It's race day. Haas can be very proud of their driver. It was such a magnificent show of talent.
What a fantastic result for the team who got everything right for this podium. They deserve nothing less.
And you love to see this. The whole team celebrating this magnificent result. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there though.
And with that, our time in Barcelona is done.
Coming up next, the teams will be taking a trip to the Sunshine State. The Hard Rock Stadium is laying down the track for a captivating race at the Miami Grand Prix.
So that's the Spanish Grand Prix with Verstappen, Sainz and Iwasa on the podium. Zhou makes it to the top 5, Oscar Piastri has a stinker. We get P19 and P21, achieving our sponsor targets with both drivers. We get some points in the pit stop championship, 8 points in fact, and we're getting some contract bonus. There's the mid-season board review. Their board confidence is medium. We get a sponsor plan as well, which means we've got quite a lot of money coming our way, about 3 million. So we're going to research I think it might be time to do a front wing or a rear wing. No, we're going to go for a suspension. We're going to put the rest of our hours into that suspension, I think. Yeah. And next, and confirm. Oh no, put 5 engineers on it, of course. And confirm. Yeah, nice. And then we're going to research a new chassis with no research hours, but it will still make some benefits. And then we decide the next sponsor plan, which was fairly easy, I can't lie. Yeah, let's piss off one of our affiliates, why not? So we're good at in this team. There we go. And here's us deciding our pit stop schedule. The key in pit stop schedules is to do pit crew training schedules is to do gym training, because that's what gets the pit stop time down for whatever reason, not pit stop drill. So there we go, Adam Kenyon goes up to 82 rating, and we get research complete for the underfloor. And now we're going to do some more research on the underfloor, put some engineers on that. Lance Stroll's contract is renewed. Stuart King goes up to 82 rating, and we're going to pick 21st and above for both drivers in Miami.
As F1 returns to the Magic City. We're back from the summer break with topped up tans. Vacation though is now over, and it's time to get serious on the track for the second half of the F1 season. Now let's get the weekend underway.
Alright, now simulating the first part of qualifying in Miami. Miami is a non-sprint race. P22 for Lawson and P21 for Lance Stroll. And in Q1, Max was fastest, but who's going to be fastest in Q3? It's Carlos Sainz from Ocon from Verstappen, with our old team Haas 5th and 7th. What a qualifying by them. Let's push forward into race day.
We're almost ready to go here in Florida as we look forward to 57 laps of F1 racing.
The Miami Grand Prix arrived onto the calendar in 2022 with much fanfare, and F1 history is still very much being written here. Drivers have to take chances around the street circuit and hope those chances turn into victory.
Spectacle is the name of the game here in Miami, with a stadium at the heart of this track. With long straights and S-bends, not unlike Suzuka's Sector 1, proper ERS management is sure to give drivers an edge towards victory. It's race day, with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go. Now, wasn't that a seriously good drive from Carlos Sainz?
It was a truly excellent win, with everything working together for the team and driver.
Pure elation there as the driver regroups with a team that worked so hard to see this moment. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
And with that, our weekend in Miami now draws to a close.
For the next round, we're heading back to the heart of the UK. Get ready for a race to remember in Silverstone, the cradle of Formula One.
It's P2 for Iwasa in our old team, and Perez doesn't even get any points, but it's Carlos Sainz who wins the race from Bottas, and Zhou misses out on the podium just. Perez finishes P11, we finish P20 and P21, so we achieve our sponsor target with both drivers, and that's the main aim at this stage of the season. And we get P4 and P10 in the Pit Stop Championship, edging ever closer to Haas, but I doubt we're going to get it, but it's good to solidify our current position. And we get research complete on the chassis, and we're going to go for 21st or above with both drivers in the British Grand Prix.
To the home of British motor racing. We're here in legendary Silverstone, where the very first Formula One World Championship Grand Prix was held back in 1950. It's a place where every tuft of grass breathes motorsport, and the crowd are already crackling with excitement. Our weekend action starts here.
So the British Grand Prix in Season 3, simulating Sprint Quali 1, because this race is a sprint race, and we get P21 and P22. No shock there. And in the sprint race, hopefully, we're going to do a lot better than P21 and P22. It's a wet sprint race, so what can we do? We get points of Lance Stroll. 14 places he made up to get a point, and Liam Lawson gained 7 places to finish P14. We cooked with that strategy, and we got a point, our first point ever. P22 and P21 in main qualifying, back down to reality. And what can we do in the main race?
52 laps around Silverstone await our drivers as the anticipation continues to build.
Silverstone is certainly a circuit rich in Formula One history, from Giuseppe Farina winning the first championship race held here in 1950, right through to Lewis Hamilton's 2008 masterclass on racing in the rain.
Silverstone demands a lot of power from cars with numerous twists and historic turns. Downforce is going to be a key factor to manage if teams want to succeed here. The teams are making their final preparations down in the pit lane, ahead of today's race. What an excellent drive there from Valtteri Bottas.
That's a well-earned result. From the factory and on the pit wall, that's a podium for the whole team.
We may see these kind of scenes a lot in Formula One, but it's easy to forget just what it means to the whole team. The Chinese driver really dazzled us during the race, and now he finds himself the star of the show.
It's a really emotional moment to be up there celebrating your first win.
Well, we might be in Britain, but our podium finishers won't be celebrating with a cup of tea tonight. They'll be staying true to Formula One tradition. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there though.
And here in Silverstone, the weekend now draws to a close.
Coming up next, we'll be crossing the pond all the way to Texas for the twists and turns of the United States Grand Prix.
Zhou Guanyu is a Grand Prix winner, followed by Carlos Sainz, Bottas, Iwasa, Ocon, Piastri, Russell, Leclerc, Yuki and Verstappen. We get P18 and P21 with a DNF for Lance Stroll, but I genuinely can't believe it. Yuki Tsunoda is a race winner inside F1 Manager 24. Who saw that coming? We also get some solid points in the pit stop championship. We only get one driver's bonus, sponsor bonus, and this is us deciding the training schedule for the pit crew. Gym training is the most important. But yeah, we're going to do that. And a suspension research has been complete, and sponsor plan is obtained. And we're going to design a new sponsor plan. It feels like just 10 minutes ago that we've done the last one. Well, because it most probably was 10 minutes ago as you're watching this. But yeah, we'll try and do whatever we can, just not annoying the main staff and drivers while doing that would be ideal. And let's confirm that. And we're going to design a new car. We're going to design a new car part. Are you sure about that, geezer? We're designing a rear wing. That's quite expensive. Am I gonna... Oh my god, I've just designed a new rear wing. And we get another sponsor plan. I don't know if that's a repeating clip. And then we research the rear wing. Okay, so I don't know, I'm so confused at this point, what just happened. But yeah, we've researched a new rear wing. And we put 4 engineers on it and get it done, and then we research a front wing. No side pods, suspension. Yep, suspension. We're going to put no hours on it. We are going to whack 5 engineers on it, and we're designing a new sponsor plan. So that wasn't an old clip, we genuinely just get another sponsor plan. That's awesome. Lots of money coming in then. And there we go. Trying not to piss off our main staff, but keep everybody happy at the same time. It's a difficult job, you know, keeping the whole mentality thing of this game alive. Yeah, we'll vote for that sporting regulation to lower the cost cap, because our team's always going to be too poor to ever spend the cost cap. We're going to go P21 and above with both drivers for the United States Grand Prix.
We're in Austin, but there are no wild cowboys on the track this weekend, just some serious horsepower. It's sure to be a race to remember. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Formula One.
Right, United States Grand Prix time, and both of our drivers are knocked out in Q1, P21 and P22. Lando Norris gets Paul McLaren back on top, Verstappen and Iwasa P2 and P3.
We're not far off now here in Austin as the drivers ready themselves for this 56-lap race.
The Circuit of the Americas is definitely a track that rewards bravery on the brakes, just like when Lewis Hamilton passed Sebastian Vettel unbelievably late here to take the win in 2012.
The track in Austin is a contradiction. It's high speed, but drivers need a decent amount of downforce to make good on overtaking. Having the grip to outbrake opponents here is key. The time has almost come for our drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived. Not a quick race to sum up, not least for George Russell there.
And with a 13th place finish, that sadly means there's no points to be claimed.
Well, Max Verstappen can add yet another podium to his already impressive record.
It almost feels like it doesn't need saying after a 7th win, but another stunning performance today.
So, ladies and gentlemen, your podium for the United States Grand Prix. Well, Karun, How do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
And with that, our time in Texas now draws to a close.
GG's to Max Verstappen in P1. Awasa falls down to P5. We get P6, P18 and P19 and many more. Well, I was going to say many more points than championship, but not quite. But we get many more places than what we needed to achieve our sponsor target, which we can only be happy with. No points in the pit stop championship though, but that's honestly okay with me. Our Gabriel Bortoletto goes up one rating, and we get research complete for the underfloor, and for Bahrain are going with 21st or above with both drivers.
Welcome along to another exciting weekend of F1 action. It's time then for another thrilling weekend of F1 drama.
And in Q1 in Bahrain, we get knocked out in P22 and P21. Charles Leclerc gets knocked out as well, and Gasly kicks out, but that's a bit of a surprise. But let's see what we can do on race day.
Here, the floodlights are on, and it's nearly time for 57 laps around the Bahrain International Circuit.
Bahrain has seen some of the most dramatic races in F1, like Sergio Perez's incredible 2020 victory, surging ahead from being last on the opening lap.
Bahrain is known for high tyre degradation, as the asphalt here is so abrasive. The drivers are facing many low to medium speed corners, and any heavy braking will inevitably take its toll on the tyres. Race day has arrived, and the time has almost come for these drivers to fight it out, wheel to wheel. And in comes Max Verstappen, soon to be greeted by his team.
Yeah, just shy of a podium, but fourth is still a respectable finish.
Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there though.
And that is about that for this weekend's action here in Bahrain.
For the next round, we'll be travelling to Qatar as the drivers battle it out at the Losail International Circuit. We'll see you there.
Right, that's the Bahrain Grand Prix said and done, and it's Lando Norris on P1, Awasa P3, Carlos Sainz P2. We get P17 and P18, a mega result for Mega Gamer F1, and we get 1 point in the Pit Stop Championship, which is crucial. Haas get overtaken by Alpine again, and we get our sporting director 1 rating above, one of our affiliates 1 rating above, and we get research complete for the suspension. And we're going to research a new part. We're going to do quite a bit between these next 2 Grand Prix. If you are enjoying, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time for another F1 Manager 24 video. Goodbye for now.